We're live.
Hey, let some people roll in here.
Sounds good.
We'll get started with introductions.
So she could play music, but you two be hating.
I know. Hey, we got one person, a couple people rolling in.
Awesome.
Welcome to the Picture Brand Live Work Lab. If you want to introduce yourself, you can type in the Q&A box. Your name, where you're from. If you have a business, you can put that in there as well. We'll get started in a couple minutes once we get some more people in here. Yeah, YouTube is playing us on the music.
Yeah, don't do that.
In case anybody doesn't know, YouTube doesn't allow you to play music. Well, they'll allow you to do it, but they'll shut your live stream down.
And it's a pain.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us, if you go on my screen is to the left, it's a Q&A box if you guys want to type in your name and where you're from. If you have a business, we can include that as well. And we'll get started in a couple minutes.
Yes, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so we can know what's on here. Also, you can use this little chat box if you have any questions throughout the work lab. We had a few people that posted questions in my my private Facebook group, Creative Collab Community. So we'll be answering those questions towards the end. Let's see, I think, is anybody having any trouble viewing? Says we have a couple of viewers.
Ooh. My button doesn't look too massive on the screen, y'all. Let's go.
Make sure you guys aren't having any difficulties watching. Hmm. I don't think anybody They can see us.
Okay.
And said they don't see a chat box.
Oh, they don't see a chat box? It should be a small blue icon. I'm not sure if it's on the left or the right hand of your Hangout screen, but it should say Q&A, and that's where you can type in anything. Uh-oh, that's popping
Hmm.
Whoa! Oh, it says people are commenting on YouTube.
Somebody said the link in the email you sent says the playback has been disabled on Google. It was about 18 people viewing on Google and it kicked them out.
Oh no! Okay, we have to figure this out, y'all. Also, we see Katrina Brooks. She's on Google Hangouts. I wonder. Well, let me figure out the YouTube part and then.
Did you just add Katrina?
Nope. She just asked the question.
Oh, okay. So Katrina doesn't have any problems.
Can't view on Google, but the Q&A section is available. Also, the Google Hangout is messing up. It says, so we can't watch Hangout. We can only watch on YouTube, but we can still see you, so don't panic. Thanks, Kashira, for being responsive.
I don't know what's going on.
I have YouTube open in another tab. Okay, so you'll have to go over to your YouTube page, just wait, and then I think that you'll be able to see the stuff on there.
All right, 1 second. Somebody to me. We're figuring it out, guys. Give me a second.
But thanks for tuning in, though. You know, despite the technical difficulties, you guys are great.
So where am I going on YouTube?
I believe you would click. Wait, go back to your Google event page and then copy and paste the YouTube link.
All right, hold on.
Y'all try to be like an IT person, y'all, but can only go for what I know.
Should I send everybody the YouTube link then instead of the event page?
Can only go for what I know. Oh, are you watching the YouTube now?
Everybody the YouTube link then instead of the event page? Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Well, oh, are you watching the YouTube now?
Yeah. YouTube link then instead of the event page? Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
Thanks, Katrina. Yes, I'll mute that video. Okay, awesome. All right, I see here Lashandra, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sanders, and we have Imani Henderson. She owns iSocial PR, a social media marketing company that specializes in event planning businesses.
Okay, so just send everybody the YouTube link then.
Yeah, you can do that, but they might already have it.
Okay.
Right.
All right, y'all, give me a second.
Okay. And just in case y'all hear a little baby in the background, that's my baby sister. I moved back home this weekend, back to Grand Rapids, Michigan. So So it's been an adjustment, but it's been fun. I think she'll be far away for this, but just in case you hear something, that's her. Yeah, Katrina, I think you may be the only one in the Q&A on Google Hangout, but it looks like people are active on YouTube if you want to pop in on there.
Yeah. Always something with technology.
Oh, but we have 21 viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see you, Tanya. Thanks for joining us. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Elaine Murray. Several people are having trouble with the link on Google. I don't know why that is, but I'm glad you guys found a way to view us on YouTube. So
yeah, I'm trying to send it out to.
Oh, Diamond's on the Q&A too. Technology isn't always friendly. Girl, you can say that again.
Okay.
Devil is a lie.
We had about 100 people that RSVP'd, so I'm pretty sure some of them are having the same issue. So I'm just gonna send the YouTube link out to everybody. So just bear with me.
All right, sounds good. And I'll just continue talking. Lashandra says she has a health and wellness business, event planning business, and would like to be a public speaker and author. So definitely aiming to be a true Renaissance woman. So oh yeah, and guys, after this wraps up, if you guys are on Twitter, make sure to jump on one of our viewers, Kashira. She's hosting a Twitter chat tonight. Should be lit. So just make Tuesday an educational and informational one. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in again, Kashira. Appreciate it as always. Super huge supporter of both me and Chatoya. So you're the bomb.
All right. Thank you for that, everybody.
All righty. Yes, Kashira, her movement. Yes, yes, yes.
All right. One more thing. Some people registered on Eventbrite.
Go ahead. Marie said, I thought I had a technical issue, but everyone simply needs to click on the screen when it says watch this video on YouTube. I'm here and excited. Well, we're excited to have you, Marie. Thanks for joining us. We have Adrienne Carter. She says she has an inspirational brand targeted for women to uplift and encourage self-love, confidence, and self-esteem. Her website is is it ARC Collections? So it's spelled AARC Collections.com. Please check it out. Most definitely. Yes. We have Elena. She is founder and CEO of I Am Unexplainable at iamunexplainable.com, meant to teach you how to value your uniqueness and use it as an advantage. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. Yes, you guys are so interactive. That's so awesome.
All right, email sent. I got like 10,000 tabs open. Let me find y'all. So are you on Google Hangout, Asia, or you?
I'm on both.
Okay. All right. Hey. I'm back. Thank you guys for bearing with us. I'm happy that you are able to view the live stream now. So we'll get started. So I'm Chatoya Antwine. I am the creator of Creative Collab. Creative Collab is an exclusive learning experience that provides entrepreneurs and creatives with the opportunity to accomplish more in a co-working community than individually. So basically, what does all of that mean? So it's an online institute and global community that includes an intensive curriculum that teaches entrepreneurs and creatives how to shift their creative mindset as well as level up in business. So I'll be providing various tools, resources, strategies, and action plans to help you get to the next level within your business and just helping you throughout your success journey. So there's actually two parts of Creative Collab. There is an exclusive private Facebook community, which some of you who are on the live stream are a part of. So thank you for joining. I've been getting a ton of great feedback from you guys. So we're basically just pushing each other to higher heights within our businesses. We're celebrating each other's wins, bouncing ideas off of each other. I know Veronica and Jasmine both have online boutiques, and they post in there sometimes to get our opinions as far as what pieces of whether it's accessories or clothing that they should add on their website. So very supportive, very helpful. Like I said, I'm just here to help everybody throughout their success journey and provide them with the various tips, tools, and resources they need to store within their business. So if anybody is on here who isn't a part of the community and would like to be surrounded by supportive and like-minded creatives and entrepreneurs, and you need that support system, or if you have questions and you don't have a circle or a business bestie or somebody to refer to ask those questions, feel free to join the Creative Collab community, and we'll be happy to help you throughout your success journey. As far as the VIP access, if you go to creativecollab.co, you can apply, and it includes monthly work labs, kind of similar to what we're doing here today, but it'll be more intensive. It'll be different modules for you to complete each week. So we have the monthly work labs, creative mastermind sessions, digital products that you'll be able to have access to, co-working sessions, live chat discussions, with an accountability partner to make sure that you're reaching the goals that you set out for yourself. And it is a monthly fee of only $19. So I've made it very affordable for everybody. My goal is to get 5,000 members within the VIP community. But for now, you guys can go on creativecollab.co to apply, and to join the community on Facebook is totally free. Just go to Creative Collab community and I'll approve your request. So if Asia, you want to introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know how I can follow all of that, but I'll try. Hey everybody, my name is Asia Horne. For pay, I am a freelance graphic designer. But for purpose, I am editor-in-chief and creator of EmpireLifeMag.com as well as Empire Life Magazine for the premier digital lifestyle platform for and by the millennial entrepreneurial women of color. Last year in May 2015, so we have a year under our belt and we're going through a transition period, which I'm really excited for. And we'll be releasing our second issue, our fall issue, in a couple weeks now. So stay tuned for that. I'm just really excited to be here. A couple weeks ago, I hosted an event called Buzzworthy in Chicago, to where we'll be talking about the subject matter in which we're talking about today to help you pitch your brand. So I'm super excited to be here. Thanks again, Chatoya, for allowing me to join your wonderful community. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm excited. So you guys are in for a treat.
Awesome, thank you. Another part I didn't add about the VIP access. So, of course, I'll be doing the work labs, but of course, I don't know everything. So I'll be bringing in experts or influencers of specific industries and topics to kind of teach you the things that you need for your businesses and brands. So, for example, we have Asia Horne here today. She's a co-teacher. So within the VIP community, we'll have co-teachers as well. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I actually have a PowerPoint I'm going to share with you guys. So please take notes. If you have questions, make sure you pop them in and we will answer them. Let's see. All right, can everybody see my screen?
I can see it.
Awesome. So welcome to the Pitch Your Brand Live Work Lab. So if you're on social media and you want to live tweet on Twitter, or if you want to live post on Facebook, just use the hashtag Pitch Your Brand. Let everybody know that you're part of this amazing workshop, and kind of share the different tools and strategies that we'll be talking about today. The agenda. So what are we going to be talking about? DIY, which is do-it-yourself, versus barter services when it comes to a publicist, the perfect pitch, the perfect media outlet, we'll talk about the one sheet, media kit, things that you need to know before you click send on an email before pitching. We'll talk about the follow-up and getting features. So pitch your brand. So don't wait for opportunities, create them. So if you guys kind of want to make this as interactive as possible, if anybody has any popular media outlets or like media outlets that they have on their list that they would like to be featured in, just kind of put them in the comment section. Any media outlet that you would like to be featured in, as far as a short-term or a long-term goal. And as you guys put those in there or kind of think about that, I want to ask you a question as far as why haven't you been featured in those on those media outlets or in those publications yet? So that's the whole gist of not waiting for opportunities, making sure that you're creating them. So don't wait for Black Enterprise to figure out who you are and to reach out to you to feature, to be a feature in their outlet. What you can do is get your ducks in a row, and we're going to work on allowing you to be able to pitch your brand to media outlets like Black Enterprise and Rolling Out and Jet Magazine, where Asia and myself have been featured in. So do it yourself versus barter services. So you have two choices here. You can either hire a publicist. You can hire a publicist. I know sometimes starting off as an entrepreneur, you may not be able to afford a publicist. So you have to go the route of either doing barter services or becoming your own publicist. So if you're becoming your own publicist, then you need to be able to pitch yourself. You need to have the right tools and resources in order to do that. Another thing that you can do is hire a reporter. So if you go to hirereporter.com, it's called Haro. So basically, if you have a story or if you have something that you would like to bring to the attention of the media or journalists, you can post that on hirereporter.com. They're always looking. So it's journalists, and they're basically always looking to get stories. So you can post your story on there, and they can, if somebody sees it and they like it, then they'll be able to post it on whatever their outlet is. Or you can do the other route. If you're looking to get to feature somebody on your site, you can go on and find someone on hirereporter.com. So that's one thing. So barter services is another. So basically what bartering is an exchange of a good or service with two or more parties. So let's say, for example, I'm hosting a summit in a couple months and I need somebody to do all of my graphic design for it, but I can't afford it. I don't have a budget. So what do? I take the option of barter services. So I see that Asia is doing an amazing job with graphic design, and our next event is coming up early next year, and I see an opportunity there. So I can reach out to Asia and say, hey, I love your design work. I love what you're doing. I have this event that's coming up. I would love if you would be able to sponsor or exchange of barter services where you create all my graphic designs. And when you do your buzzworthy event, starting in the beginning of 2017, I'll plan it for you. So it's basically an exchange of services. So when you're doing that, first you have to make sure that whatever the exchange is, that it's kind of even for the most part. You don't want somebody creating you a whole media kit deck and you're only doing $10 worth of work for them. So that's one thing to kind of keep into consideration. It's okay if you don't have a budget. It's okay if you can't afford a publicist, but making sure that you're looking for opportunities to barter with other entrepreneurs and creatives, and essentially you both are winning. Like if this was something that could happen, I'm getting my graphic design by a professional for free, and Asia's getting her event planned by a professional for free as well. So both parties are winning. So you just have to make sure that it's something that's beneficial for both parties in order for both parties to win. Now, when you do barter services, please make sure that you have an agreement signed by both parties. And within that agreement, it should be stating what you are providing, what they are providing, what's the deadline that they should be providing it by, what are the consequences if they don't, abide by whatever the agreement is that you two have with each other. Because if you just go by word of mouth and you do all the work and they haven't done what they said that they're going to do, then it's going to be a huge, huge problem. So that's one thing. And making sure that you're building relationships and being social on social media. So if somebody was to email me and ask if I can plan their event for free, and they'll do graphic design for me, but I've never seen their graphic design work. I've never even heard of them. I wouldn't be as eager to engage in this barter agreement with them. So that's one thing. You have to make sure that you're building relationships and not just going after people just because you need something all the time. Making sure that you're being social, you're adding them on Twitter or you're adding them on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is very, very key. Another tip that I can give you guys, like say for example, you want to be featured in Rolling Out. Whatever industry you're in or whoever your target market is, find who the writer is within that niche area for that media publication. They all have their social media contacts on there. I think most of them are usually Twitter. Follow them on Twitter, respond to things when they post. That way they're able to see like, oh, this person responds a lot. Your face and your name is kind of familiar, so that when you send that email, they may be more responsive than the other 10,000 people who probably email them every day. So that's something to take into consideration, making sure that you're building those relationships and you're getting social and reaching out to people on LinkedIn as well. Have anything you want to add on this slide, AJ?
Yeah, and we'll definitely touch on this, I believe, later in the workshop tonight too. But building a rapport is essential when pitching nowadays, especially, since we're in the social media age and there's so many things that are going on every single day. It's, easy to get discouraged a lot because as you start to pitch, you may not be getting responses and you may be like, well, I have everything that I need included in the email. Why am I not getting a response? And that's simply because you have not taken the time to build a rapport and engage in a relationship with the contributors, with the editors of the publication that you're seeking to be published in and featured in. The more often they know you, the more often they're able to push your stuff to the top of the pile, and they just know what you're about, what quality of work you're doing, what your business is, and they can automatically be like, okay, yeah, I know who he is, I know who she is, and then you'll have a better chance of getting featured. But we'll talk about that later. But absolutely, make sure that you're building those relationships, and definitely don't sleep on LinkedIn or any other social media engagement and contact that you can have with these media publications. Uh-oh. 1 second, but yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so we'll move on to the next slide. So media outlets. So I kind of talked about this when we first started. So what I want everybody to do is to make a list of outlets that they want to be featured in, whether that's something that's long-term or short-term. And also to think about podcasts to be featured on, think about blogs, think about digital magazines, consider being a guest blogger as well as a contributor. And I know a lot of times everybody wants to, be on whatever the national or the most popular publication is, but you also have to be able to utilize your local media outlets as well. You have to be able to have a presence within your local community if you want anybody to support you and respect you on a national level. So that's something that's key. I know a lot of times people just look for, the XO Nicole features or, Black Enterprise and rolling out, and it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But also make sure that you're utilizing the local bloggers and, the local media outlets as well. And also making sure that you're being strategic and intentional with who you reach out to, making sure that what they're doing and who their target audience is, making sure that it's aligned with your brand. So for example, if you have your favorite podcast that you listen to and you want to be featured on their podcast and you would love to be a guest, first you need to look and see if they even offer, that as an opportunity. Some people podcast and it's just them who are doing the episodes. Others have podcasts where they feature guests every week or, every couple of weeks or what have you. But make sure that you're looking into that. Just because it's your favorite podcast and you love it and you would love this happen to their audience, make sure that they even have the opportunity available for you to even be a guest spotlight or a guest on their podcast. So that way you're not wasting your time sending an email pitching to them. You're not wasting their time. And that'll also go to show that you don't even, listen to their podcast, or you would know that they don't, accept guest features or, they've never had any guests on their podcast. So that's something to think about. And then if you want to consider being a guest blogger, so as a guest blogger, you can kind of tap into other people's platforms and other people's audiences. So I blog for, I don't know if it's necessarily a guest blog, but I've covered an event for Asia before, and I was able to blog on that for her event. If you have a specific topic that you want to talk about and you want to reach a different audience outside of your blog or outside of your platform, feel free to reach out to people to be guest bloggers. So as a guest blogger, you can just guest blog, whether it's once a quarter or however often that you want to. And another thing is you can sign up to be a contributor. So Kashira is on here. She's actually a contributor for EmpireLifeMag.com. And
Yes.
yay! When you're thinking about being a contributor, know that it is a commitment. So I don't know what Kashira and Asia's agreement is, and every digital magazine or blog is different. So say, for example, if they want you to blog once a week or if they want you to blog every 2 weeks, like you have to make that commitment that once a week you have to be putting out good content. You have to be on time. You have to make sure, that the content is valuable for their audience. So podcast, blog, digital magazines, guest blogging, and contributing.
Yeah, for sure. Just to put my 2 cents into this topic, I suggest that as you be intentional, when it comes to choosing your media outlet, definitely research them and make sure that their audience ties into your audience, because it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone in that instance. If you're not pitching something that would be appealing to their audience, that wouldn't be beneficial to the publication, and it wouldn't be beneficial to you, because yeah, you may get featured, but their audience isn't, interested in your business, and that would have just been kind of like a wasted opportunity. So make sure that you're taking the time to look and truly see if their audience would be potential customers and clients and audience members for you. As far as considering the small dogs in the media game, like Chatoya said, don't discount them just because they might not be as big as the national publications, because as we have it, it truly doesn't matter if somebody has been in the game for a long time. It really just depends on their imprint. The digital age is transforming the way of publications and media as we know it, and a lot of platforms haven't been in existence for 2 to 3 years, and they already have their hands in the digital community, and they're able to get their content out there like that, to where the older publications are actually trying to transfer their influence to that what the younger publications have. So just be mindful of that, and don't discount those opportunities from the quote unquote smaller or younger publications and platforms. Like Chatoya mentioned, being a guest blogger or contributor is definitely something that you should consider, opposed to actually being featured by a contributor or a publication. You're kind of able to wiggle your way through as being a guest blogger and contributor, and of course mentioning your business and what you do within that piece. But at the same time, you can position yourself as a industry expert and an influencer, as you grow your pieces and your articles within that publication, and you're always able to repurpose it. For instance, like Ashira, she's a contributor. She'll talk about great topics on Empire Life, but she can then repurpose it and post it in her Facebook group and say, look at this post. And now she's positioning herself as an influencer who knows, what she's talking about, and just even gives you more clout that way. So that's super beneficial. So definitely consider being a contributor and a guest blogger. Those are awesome opportunities to promote your brand and business as well.
Yeah. I'll kind of add, we'll talk a little bit about this once we get into what to include in emails. But like, for example, if you're reaching out to somebody that has a podcast or a blog. So I've been featured on a few podcasts, and for all of them, I believe I pitched myself for. So what I'll include, and it'll kind of set you apart and also kind of catch their eye a little bit. So if you have a podcast that you found and you want to be featured on, just kind of listen to some of the most recent episodes. And when you send your email, include and let them know, like, hey, I've been listening to your podcast for X amount of time, or I just recently discovered your podcast, or I just recently read your blog, and just include whatever the latest episode was or the latest blog post that you read and what you liked about it, or what your favorite posts are on that blog. So that goes to show that you've been following them for a while, or you've actually invested time to actually listen to their podcast, and you know that it's a great opportunity for you to be featured on there, and it's aligned with both of your brands, and it can be beneficial to both of your audiences. So that's something to include. So we'll move on to a one sheet. So what's a one sheet? It's basically a one-page document that summarizes a product that you're pitching, or a service that you're pitching, or in this case, I know a lot of us are trying to promote our businesses or brands. So it's basically a one-page summary of you promoting yourself, your business, your brand, or its services. So some things to include on a one sheet. It should just be one page, making sure that you're including your personal, your business bio, and it includes your about, or your mission or your purpose, just kind of like a paragraph or so they can kind of know who you are, what your background is for your business, what's the purpose of your business or brand, and then what's the mission behind it. Also including whatever products or services that you may offer as well. Making sure that your logo is on it, that you have a professional headshot, not a selfie in a car or a picture in the car with the seatbelt on. Make sure that it's a really professional headshot picture. And making sure that it's high resolution as well, because once you put these on like one sheets or media kits, and once it's blown up, if it's not in high resolution, it's going to be very pixelated, it's going to be very blurry, and it's going to look really unprofessional. So also including any awards or achievements that you have. So let's say me and Asia were highlighted in Detroit by the Detroit City Council. So that's an award or achievement that we can list on our one sheet. Any media features that you have. So if you've done any guest blogging, or if you've been featured in a specific media outlet, you can include those on there. Most of the time it's just fine if you want to just include the logo. That's pretty good. Also making sure that you're including your social media handles, your website, and your contact information. And if you're using graphics, making sure that the graphics are professional. There are a lot of like stock photography sites that are free, and even some that are paid that you can utilize. I know Pixels is free. Creative Market, you have to pay for most of the stock photography, but they're very affordable. If you can get in Canva and design your one sheet with Canva, you can do that as well. This presentation that you guys are viewing, I made in Canva, so Canva's a really a cool resource for you guys to utilize. So basically the one sheet is like your one-page resume for your business or for whatever you're promoting.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great way to put it. I was about to say a one sheet is more like a resume, to where your media kit, which we're about to touch on shortly, is more like a portfolio where it's more intensive, and you're able to showcase more of what you do. But for the one sheet, that those images are high quality, because most of the time, like Chatoya said, the media contact will just pull that image if they need it, and you definitely just want to cut the back and forth and have everything prepared. So if you have those, high resolution images, that'll cut down on like, well, do you have a high resolution image, or do you have anything else? If it's already there, then you'll have even a faster chance and a faster rate to, one, get approved and get the go ahead for the feature, and two, get it faster because they already have what they need from you.
Yeah, so when I pitch to different, so I'll do podcasts, because I've done that recently. When I pitch to a podcast, I just send my one sheet. I haven't been including my media kit. So like, say for example, if I'm reaching out to somebody to be a speaker at my summit, then I would send my media kit. That way they can have detailed information as far as like exactly what my business is. We'll kind of go into what's included in the media kit, but like if I'm just reaching out to people for like podcasts or things like that, I'm just sending my one sheet. All right, so what should you include in your media kit? So in this as well, you're including your personal and your business bio. You can get a little bit more detail than what you have in your one sheet, because you have a little bit more space to work with. So making sure you're about your mission and your purpose, a little bit about yourself, kind of similar to what we went over with the one sheet. Whatever services and products that you're offering, just like a slide or two about that. A slide is typically fine. Your target audience. So who's your target audience? Is it entrepreneurs? Is it professionals? Is it millennials? Is it moms? Just kind of dig deep into whoever your target audience is, and making sure that you're including information about that. As far as statistics, I think Ashira asked this question in the Facebook community as far as what's the difference, what's must-have items in an entrepreneurial kit versus a blogger's kit. So if you're blogging key things, and you can do this if you're just an entrepreneur as well, because I'm not a blogger and I still have this in my media kit. So how many visitors are you is reaching your website each month? So statistics to include is number of visitors, the number of page views, the average number of page views that you're getting each month. You can include your number of email subscribers that you have. You can include how many followers you have on all of your social media platforms. And my media kit for a la carte galore, which is my event planning company, actually have the countries of people who have visited my site. So like people from the UK and China and Germany, just to kind of show that, your site is reaching, on a global scale. So those are some key things to include. And where can you pull this information from? So if you're on Squarespace, there is, you can do your analytics on Squarespace, on WordPress, and any other site as well. If you link your Google Analytics, you can pull all of this information from Google Analytics. Everything that's in my media kit for a la carte galore, as far as statistics, I pull from Google Analytics. Another thing that you can include is testimonials. So if you have a product and people have been buying it, making sure that you're getting testimonials from them. If you have coaching clients, making sure that you're getting testimonials from them. And just include a couple in your media kit. You can include any past or upcoming events that you have. So if it's a future event, obviously that's key if you're looking to gain sponsorship for your event, letting them know what your event is about, what's the mission of your event, your purpose, excuse me, your purpose, your target audience, and whatever your sponsorship level for them to choose from. Another thing is media features. So if you've had any recent media features, you can include those in your media kit to kind of set you apart from others. Making sure that you have your contact information, whether it's email, phone number, your social media handles. And again, making sure that all of your photos are professional and that you have a headshot. Want to add to anything, Asia?
Yeah, one question that I just saw on YouTube asked by Tanya, she says, is it a bad thing if I have no media features or awards and achievements to add? It's definitely not a bad thing if you don't have those, especially, of course, it sounds like you're a fairly young, in your business, so that's fine. But definitely make sure that you checked off all the other check marks of your media kit, to make sure it's not incomplete. So just because you don't have that doesn't mean that you won't be selected for a feature, but you definitely want to make sure that you have all these other covered, so when people do review, even though you don't have, those previous features or awards and achievements, they'll still see that you're very polished and professional, and they probably won't even bat an eye at that. Of course, it gives you more, I won't necessarily say clout, but they say, oh yeah, I see they've been featured in this publication, cool. But just as long as you have your other things together in your whole email, which we'll talk about in a little bit, is well put together, then you'll still have a good chance of getting that feature.
Yeah, I'll show you guys my media kit for a la carte galore. And when I pitch for a la carte galore, I don't have any media features on here. So just to kind of give you guys the idea of things to include. On my content, I have an about page, my services, target audience, and stats. I have a couple testimonials. This specific media kit was for my second anniversary event that I had. So just letting them know what they can expect from the event, the sponsorship, and the contact form. So this is my about page, just talking a little bit about who I am, my experience, what a la carte galore is, and what the services are that we offer. And then here's a breakdown specifically. We're obviously an event planning and destination retreat company, so just being specific as far as what destination retreats and what type of events. Who my target audience is, millennials, entrepreneurs, professionals, creatives, all that good stuff. So this is my statistics page. And just letting them know like how many visitors I have each month, page views, average number each month, my email subscriber list, and then just like a map of the different countries that people have visited my website, like where they're from. I have a couple testimonials here from clients that I've had, what to expect. So these are pictures from my 1 year anniversary event, just to kind of give them an idea of what they can expect for the 2nd-year anniversary event. Letting them know what the event is about, where it's at, and just kind of like an agenda of the event. This is the sponsorship form, so making sure that you're detailing what your sponsorship levels are, and then a contact form that they can fill out. They can select their sponsorship level, sign it, and send it back to you. And then this is my contact page that has my phone number, my publicist at the time that they can reach out to for media and press, and the ticket link, my websites and social media handles. So that's that. Did we cover any other questions and comments about Media Kit before we move on?
Yep.
All right. So before you click send.
Yeah.
All right. So making sure that you're personalizing. You want to take it from here, and then I'll piggyback off of you for the next one, Asia?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
So with these next two slides, I definitely have a lot of insight on this, because like I mentioned at the beginning, I am editor-in-chief of Empire Life magazine, so I've experienced every single one of these next bullet points. So be sure to personalize the email. Don't send the same email over and over, because people can very quickly detect if this is an email you've sent 5 times today. And even with sending those cookie cutter templates, sometimes you forget to change out the name, which is not very good because if I see that as you included, and this is a mistake that I made, so don't feel any offense, but if they see somebody else's name or somebody else's publication within that email, they'll see that, oh, okay, this is something that they've been sending out pretty much all day, and they didn't really take the time to customize the email and personalize it. So take your time. Of course, you can copy and paste from a general template to make sure that you cover the top keynotes and key points that you need to within the email, but try to personalize it as well as you can. You can talk it in a friendly manner. Please don't be like, hey girl, hey boo. No, like even if you know that person personally, cut down on that, because it's his business. So make sure to greet them, tell them what you want up front. Don't really beat around the bush. With these emails, be as creative and eye-catching as you can with the subject lines. That's something that will catch the attention of the person who is reviewing their emails, because a lot of contributors and editors get a lot of emails day to day, and if you have a newsworthy subject line, that is something that would instantly spark interest. They'll be more likely to open that email. So definitely take your time and create those newsworthy subject lines. Something that potentially would contain like a statistic, or not necessarily the name drop, but if you have a very prominent person who is either going to be at your event or whatever else, just things that catch people's eyes, is something that's very good to have within your subject line. Avoid attachments. That this will help you, because with the emails usually come with like a attachment limit, so you can't really exceed a certain type of certain limit for like megabytes or something like that. So copy and paste those pictures and one sheets or whatever else into the actual email body. So people won't necessarily have to download those attachments, because that'll, one, slow down their computer, but two, people you want to avoid catching a virus. That they just don't really take chances, and they don't necessarily have the time to even look down, see that there's an attachment there. So if you already have everything included in the email body, all they have to do is scroll. Everything is within their eyesight. Nothing is hidden, within the attachment folder. So that's very good to remember. And please, 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 do not send your email to the editor-in-chief. This is something that, is overlooked a lot of times because a lot of times, the editor-in-chief may be the most prominent person of that publication, of course, but they're not the person who you want to contact. The editor-in-chief is the person who is overseeing all the moving pieces of the publication and generally doesn't have time to direct the email to the right person most of the time. Of course, if you're, pitching to a smaller publication or platform, they most likely won't have a lot of people on staff. So it may generally be, the editor-in-chief, maybe a executive or managing editor and their contributors, which is what we have at Empire Life. But what you will want to do in this instance is pitch to the contributor, see what type of pieces that they talk about on that website, and then pitch directly to them, because the contributors are the ones who pitch to the editor. So if you're able to collaborate with them and create a piece with them, then they'll have something to pitch to the managing editor or section editor, regardless of what section it is, and then they can take it from there. Don't send to the editor-in-chief because you most likely won't even get a reply. So take your time and research, look at those rosters that the publication has, and actually look to see who you need to do or who you need to contact to pitch. Don't pitch to editors-in-chiefs. Don't necessarily pitch to managing editors or section editors. You can, but contributors are good to start with. And sometimes even on the publication site, it'll say story pitch, send your email to blah blah blah, and they'll have a specialized email specifically for pitches. So definitely do your research with that, because a lot of times you'll get discouraged, like, oh well, why aren't they replying? Because you're not sending to the right person, girl. So make sure to take your time and research that.
Yeah. So some websites and media outlets, they actually have a press tab, and they'll tell you what you need to do and who you need to send it to and what needs to be included and what the guidelines are as far as like no attachment. So that's one way that you can start as well, is going on their website and trying to figure out what their press or media process is. If they don't have anything there, not everybody does. Like Asia said, make sure that you're figuring out who the contributor is. And let's say you have a lifestyle brand and you found a contributor. Make sure that contributor is writing things that are related to lifestyle. Like if you're writing to somebody that's talking about politics, you really aren't going to get a response. So making sure that you're digging deep and doing your research. I know that you aren't supposed to include attachments, but if you feel strongly that something needs to be attached, but you can't attach it, you can do a link. Like say if you want to include a link for your LinkedIn page or something like that, you can do that as opposed to doing an attachment. But always make sure if they have any guidelines that you read them first, because some may say no links and no attachments, and you want to make sure that you aren't being overlooked. As far as like going back to personalizing the email, I kind of talked about this a little bit when I pitched the podcast. When you're personalizing the email, making sure that you're including something that's personal. Hey, I love your Twitter chats that you have, every Thursday, or I love your weekly Periscopes. Include something that's personable so that they know that you've been, following them, or you've invested yourself into their brand. So that's something that's key as well.
Absolutely.
All right, the follow-up. Want to take the follow-up away, Asia?
I sure will. All right, so with the follow-up, first bullet point, be persistent but not pesky. Speaking personally, it's a lot of times where I'll get an email, it, but I won't have the time to go in depth with the response like I want to. And of course, most of the time I forget to respond. So in that instance, be persistent with your follow up. If you want to follow up, maybe once a week, just say, hey, just checking to make sure that you got my email. Is there anything that you want me to tell you more about and things like that? That can kind of be like a friendly reminder, because most of the time, yeah, we do forget. And if we get that, reminder, we're like, okay, let me make sure to respond. Say I already reached out a couple times. Let me do that. But don't be pesky and kind of catch an attitude, which leads to the next bullet point is politeness is key. So it's a lot of times to where somebody will send an email, but then hit me up on Facebook or something like that. Like, I just sent you an email. Did you get it? You just sent it like 5 minutes ago. Like, don't be, kind of, because that's kind of rude. Like give people the benefit of the doubt to see, because most of the time we have, big workloads and we may not be able to respond quickly. So I'll say, yeah, I saw it, but that doesn't mean you're going to get a quick response. So that's kind of tying into the pesky part. So to be polite, because if you rub somebody the wrong way, you definitely lessen your chance on, putting yourself in the position for a feature. And be intentional with your follow-up. Really, like we mentioned in the beginning of this workshop, to build those relationships with those people, but be intentional with what you want. Don't beat around the bush too much, and just be straightforward with what you're seeking for, what you want, but don't be so rude to the point where you don't even, say, hi, how are you, and then get straight to the point. So just be cognizant of these things, because it's all about the way you do it. Regardless of if you have everything put together well, if you rub somebody the wrong way on a personable note, then they'll be like, oh, this person has an attitude, I don't want to deal with it next. And you never want to put yourself in the position with that. So definitely remember these 3 bullet points.
Yeah, and try not to get discouraged when you're pitching your brand for yourself, because not everybody is going to reply, especially if it's like a major media outlet. Because obviously they're getting tons of emails a day and they just don't reply, and that's their no. It's not something that they're looking for. So don't get discouraged. Some people will reply, some people won't. You can try to make it a routine to pitch your brand weekly. So if you pick one day a week and you just send a couple emails, or even if you just send 1 email a week, it's pretty good. That way you aren't overwhelming yourself. So if you develop a template, but making sure that it's not like a cookie cutter template, that you can still make it personable, and just copy and paste that, do your edits before you send it. And like every Monday, you can send it out to one outlet. So just because you send it out to your top 3 and they don't reply, that doesn't mean give up. Like, make your list of all local and national media outlets, get your ducks in a row, send your emails, and just be persistent and make sure that you're following up. And give it a couple of days. If you send an email on Monday, don't go following up on Tuesday. Give them a chance to be able to sift through their emails and see if the opportunity fits for their platform. So that's something to take into consideration.
For sure.
All right, time to get featured. So I'm a quotes girl. So to make your mission successful, you must have desire, confidence, courage, and consistency. So if you're shy and you're scared to send emails, girl, you better get over it. And I feel like it's easier to do via email than it is in person. Like, imagine if you literally had to pitch your brand to people in person every time you wanted to be featured. Now that would be a bit intimidating. At least for me, it would be. But just get your emails together, get your media kit, your one sheet, your bios, your professional headshots, and get your content together and just be consistent. Like I said, if you just pick one day a week and just pitch to one outlet a week, and the opportunities will start rolling in, and the right opportunities will roll in. Whatever's for you, obviously you're going to get. So my motto is always to the top we go, because my goal is not to just focus on my success, but to be able to focus on the success of others and lift as many other entrepreneurs and creatives up as I climb. So that is my mission. We had a couple questions from the Facebook group that I'll say, and then we'll kind of talk about them. And if anybody has any questions that we didn't cover that you expected to learn, feel free to drop that in the comments box. So the first question is, do you think small businesses should work with a PR company or agent? If so, at what point do you determine when you should? Starting out, I've pitched myself because one, I didn't know about barter services until later on down my career, my entrepreneurial career. But if you have a specific product or a specific service that you need to get on specific platforms, then you need to get a publicist so that publicist can pitch for you. They already have contact with specific media outlets, so you do kind of have a stronger chance of being able to get features. And like I said, if you can't afford one, you can do a barter service, but make sure that that barter service that you're pitching is an awesome opportunity for the both of you. You want to add anything, Asia?
Yeah, for sure. But really quick, take your screen off the screen share. So they can see our beautiful faces.
Hey!
So, yeah, absolutely. With this question, I say consider the 2 B's, which are bandwidth and budget. When you do, consider getting a publicist as a small business, most of the time our budgets are fairly small, and these heavy hitting, publicists, while some of the times they'll be willing to work with you if they see the investment down the line, most of the times they want their money up front, honey. So if you don't have the budget that allows you to pay them, that's one thing. But then you'll want to either consider, like we've been saying, a barter or a DIY where you do it yourself. But like Chatoya said, it's always awesome to have a publicist because they already know the game. They have the prior education and the connects. But something else to consider is bandwidth, because if you do, end up doing it yourself, you kind of have to teach yourself the basics of a PR, of a publicist. So if you don't have the time to do that, and if your business is really, really picking up, then you definitely want to consider, hiring a publicist, because you simply don't have the time to teach yourself to do this. So consider those 2 things, your bandwidth and your budget, and those will kind of help you determine and decide on which direction you should go starting out.
And even if you decide to pitch yourself, or if you decide to hire a publicist, know that that's like really like another task. Like pitching your brand, that's like another role. Like you're taking on another role for, your business or your brand. And then even if you do hire a publicist, so I've hired a publicist for specific features that I've gotten for a la carte galore. And I was thinking, I'm going to hire this person and they're going to pitch my brand and these media outlets are going to feature me. He came back like, you need to do a blog post, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, I wasn't ready to be writing for anybody, but it is work. Take that into consideration as well. It's not easy just because you hire a publicist. They still, just because you want to be featured, they may say, well, hey, can you write about this? Or can you write about that? So it is another job to take on, whether you're hiring somebody or if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, because essentially that's a form of media training. Like Chatoya's publicist was preparing her to, get those features more quickly in the future. But if you do have a publicist, that's a big advantage because they know what you need to do in order to, position yourself better. So that's definitely media training 101.
Yeah, and making sure that you're prepared as well. So like now I actually had a couple, after my learning experience, I had a couple blog posts that I had just drafted just to have on hand. So one day my publicist called me like, hey, such and such wants you to write for them, or they're allowing me to pitch you. You need to submit me an article by 6 o'clock the next morning. And it's like the nighttime. So be prepared to, have a quick turnaround with whatever request that they have for you. So if it means staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning, you wanted this feature, so you got to do what you got to do to get it.
Yeah, joy and pain.
Yeah. And just because you hire a publicist, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be able to guarantee that they can get you certain media features, and all of that will be included in your agreement. But just because they pitch it to one brand, so let's say you write something and they pitch and then the person doesn't reply, you may have to write something else and pitch to another media outlet. So it does take some time and it does take some work. It isn't something that's easy just because you hire someone.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for bringing that up, for sure.
All right, so the next question, how to stand out when pitching large media entities. So we kind of talk about some things to include in the media kit as far as like your statistics, your target audience, if you've had any past media features. I really think statistics and testimonials are key, because with a testimony, you have somebody else that's speaking for your brand. And that says a lot. Anybody can say that they have the best business within their media kit, but the fact that you have somebody else that's vouching for you, that stands out amongst others. So statistics and testimonials is what I say to be able to help you to stand out.
For sure.
Want to add anything, Asia?
No, you covered that, girl. For the most part, yeah. Just make sure that you're, presenting yourself well, and putting your best foot forward when pitching to the large publications, and even the small ones. If they can see that you crossed all your T's and dotted your I's, and they don't necessarily have to ask you for anything else, and it's just as simple as copy and paste and editing a little bit, it just makes the job easier, and they'll be more inclined to give you a chance, because they see that you're prepared, opposed to sending incomplete emails and they have to ask you a million questions that kind of just is like, oh well, this will take too much work. So definitely make sure that you're putting your best foot forward and being as prepared as you can and presenting yourself as professional as you can.
All right. What are the must-have items in an entrepreneurial's media kit versus a blogger's media kit? We covered that as far as the statistics for your blog. How to pitch to influencers. How do you pitch yourself to be on panels and speaking engagements? So when I pitch myself for speaking engagements, I send my one sheet and a headshot, and then just an email just including a little bit about who I am, very short, because obviously it's already included in my one sheet. And then letting them know how and why I would be a good fit to be on their panel or a part of their event, and what I would like to talk about. Another key thing is if you have a speaker reel, and if you just started speaking, obviously you won't have one. But if you've been speaking at events, make sure that you have somebody record it for you. And after you've done a couple, you can put those into a speaker reel. So basically, it'll just be a video of different snapshots of you presenting at events. And that way people can see how you're able to present. So if you just email somebody and say, hey, I want to speak at your event, and they've never heard you speak before, it's going to be hard for them to kind of put you on their event.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Oh, I'm really glad you brought having the speaker reel, together. That's imperative, because that just shows how prepared you are. And when people say, for instance, and this is actually a insider's key, is to look out for different conferences and things like that. Whenever they announce, like save the date, start looking into it and pitch early on, because they haven't necessarily created their itinerary and agenda yet. So get in there early, but make sure that you have your speaker reel, like Chatoya mentioned, because they want to see how you are in action, and make sure that you will fit into the type of aesthetic that they're trying to have at that event. So definitely speaker reel. And the other question you asked, how do you pitch to influencers? When I think of an influencer, I think of course, like a blogger and somebody who has a strong digital influence, and something that you can do with that is product reviews. If you have a product, reach out to them. Say, I have a product that I'd really love for you to try and review on your page or your site. PO box or an address to where I can send you my product, and then they're like, oh sure, because they love getting free stuff. So that's one way, but you can kind of wiggle your way in with that because they want to make sure that, of course, it's a quality either product, service, or whatever you have going on for them to feature. But something that we actually talked about at Buzzworthy, which was kind of something that I knew of but didn't know a lot, is the pay for play. So this means that you kind of have to toss a couple dollars, somebody's way in order for them to consider to feature you. And this can be for either digital influencers, bloggers, or publications. So pretty much when you put your money where your mouth is, you'll have a higher chance of getting that feature that you want.
Yeah. So actually what I did in January, I'm an event planner and I'm like a planning guru. So obviously I do things early. But in January, what I did is I made a list of events that I wanted to attend, events that I wanted to speak at, and I just made that list in January. So a lot of events are like annual or quarterly, so you kind of know when they are already. So you can reach out early. In January, I was reaching out to people for events that not even start until November. But it's me putting myself out there and letting them know that, I'm eager and willing to be a part of their event and what I can provide and what I can offer. And only thing they're going to tell you is they're not expecting, they're not looking for speakers at this time, but they're going to start reviewing applications, or applications are going to go live at this point. And then you mark that in your calendar and you know to reach out to them to fill the application out at that time. So if you know a certain events that you want to speak at, start researching them now, figuring out if they're annual events, if they're quarterly, if they're monthly, how often they are occurring. And then just put that in your calendar and send them an email. And it's okay if you don't have a speaker reel yet, but just make sure that your one sheet and everything else that you're including is top notch. And another way to kind of get your foot in the door is volunteering. So I volunteered at some events. So I wasn't able to speak, but to still be able to volunteer, to get my foot in the door, to let them know like what my work ethic is. That I'm eager and willing and able to support the cause that they're doing or the mission or the purpose for their event. And then you're a volunteer 1 year, you can be a speaker, the next year you have your foot in the door, they know who you are, they know what you're about. So those are some key things to consider. Those were all the questions. Are there any more in the YouTube comments?
Check here, see if you guys submitted any new questions. Let's see. Looks like there's no questions that were asked, so I would just take it that we've been pretty good at answering the questions.
I hope this was very beneficial for you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you aren't a part of our Facebook group, make sure that you join going forward. The work labs that I'll do for free will only be available for the members only community. So if you just search Creative Collab Community, join the community, make sure that you're interactive. Don't come in and just be silent or a lurker. We really want to help you grow within your business or your brand. Just support whatever you're doing. So you can sign up for the community on Facebook. So Creative Collab Community on Facebook. If you want to join the members only VIP community, which will have similar workshops like this or work labs. They'll be way more intensive. They'll be 4 weeks long of different content that you can utilize and apply to your business or brand. You can go to creativecollab.co for that. I also have 2 products. Those creative juices. Mine is almost gone. I've been losing my voice over here a little bit. But it's a creative juices tumbler mug, and I use it for a visual purpose, just so I know, like whenever I'm working, to make sure I'm staying focused on getting my creative juices flowing. So I've actually put these on sale in the shop, and for you guys, I'm giving you free shipping. So if you use the code Picture Brand, you'll get free shipping, and these will go out tomorrow. Also have I also have the Level Up mug. So as you know, my mission is to help entrepreneurs and creatives shift their creative mindset as well as level up in business. So again, this is just another visual reminder that I use while I'm working. So it has level up on one side, and then it has creative collab on the other side. And this is on sale as well, and you can use the code for that for free shipping, or just Picture Brand. So I think that is all. Cover all the housekeeping rules, and I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to let me know how this work lab benefited you, or as you start to picture brands, if you have any questions, you can pop those in the Facebook group, or you can send me an email. And thank you again. I'll be announcing some new things that I have coming up for Creative Collab. So as always, everyone within the community, they get first access to it. I'll make sure you join the community. And I'll see you guys soon. Want to add anything, Asia?
Well, of course, you can reach us at Empire Life Mag on all social media. Visit our website. It's been kind of a slow summer, but we're gearing up to really hit them hard in the fall. We'll be releasing our next issue in a couple weeks, actually, so keep an eye out for that. For anything else, you can reach us at empirelifemag.com. And yeah, that's it. You can reach me on social media. Asia does it. If you need graphic design, all that good stuff, I'm your girl. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Asia does websites too.
I'll be putting that information out. No.
Use the Unlock Summit website, but yeah. So follow Asia Empire Life Mag on all social media. Creative Collab social media is Creative Collab Co, and the website is creativecollab.co. So we're the same across all boards. And I'm going to hop on Kashira's Twitter chat that started not too long ago and support her. So if you guys want to do some networking and meet some other entrepreneurs and creatives, hop on Kashira's page. This is her movement, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.